Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm joined by Denzel Bentley, of course, in a rematch with Mark Heffron this Friday night. You must be buzzing, Denzel.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm buzzing, man. I can't wait.
Of course, the first fight attracted a lot of attention, but as always with a rematch, you're headlining this time as well. It's going to gather more attention. Have you felt that from boxing fans on social media?
Yeah. Like, a lot of people are interested in it. It's headlining, like you said. Obviously, the British title's in the line, so everything's just bigger and better, man. So I guess, like, for the first fight, you know, you must have impressed. So that's a good thing.
You mentioned the British title there. Of course, you want to put all the doubters, kind of prove them wrong, because there are some. Majority of people, I will say, thought you won the fight in the first one, but there are some people who still thought it was a draw or Mark nicked it. So obviously proving people wrong, getting the bragging rights. But now the British title is on the line. Win that and you can go on some big things next year. So there's a lot at stake here, Denzel.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like you said, win that, and next year is a bigger year for me. But that's the main aim right now, man. Like you said at first, I just wanted to, put it right, get that win. Didn't want to end the year on the draw, all these types of things, you know what I'm saying, bragging rights and that, showing that I'm the better fighter. But now the British title's on the line, it's like all of that plus, the British title. Like the British title's like the cherry on top. So, win that and champion of Britain, and then, like you said, next year move on to bigger things.
How was it with Mark today?
It was all right. He wasn't really talking as much here like he does on Twitter and online and stuff. But that's all right. I wouldn't have really bit anyway. I just do my thing, innit? Like, however I feel is how I approach the situation. But yeah, it was all right. He wasn't really saying much.
Does it feel right that you're headlining the card?
Yeah, it feels good. And I think this fight does deserve to headline. I think a lot of people were saying before the first fight, that that should be headline anyway from the first fight. And that was without all of this exposure or people really knowing, who I am as a fighter, because that was me, coming out and taking that step up. So now when people have seen the first fight and they know more about me and, about the fight and, the history behind it and the first fight and all that stuff, it just makes it bigger and better. And I think it deserves the headline, especially with the British title in the line.
Were you nervous in the room? Obviously, a lot of positive tests have come back so far in boxing over the last few weeks. Was it a nervous wait in the room? Yeah,
it was, especially where, like, you're just sitting in your room, there's not much to do. So you're obviously just going to start thinking about, oh man, when's this test coming back, man? Why can't it come back now? I need it now, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as they knocked on my door the next day, like, yeah, we need to give you a green band, I was like, oh, yes, we're clear.
Yeah, I can confirm that you and Mark are both negative, so the fight is on Friday night. What are the keys for you this Friday night in terms of the first fight? You've got a lot to go off from. I'm sure you have watched the fight back, etc. What are the keys for you this Friday night?
Just do my thing, man. I'm just going to do what I do best, Like I said before, I don't really know how I want to approach the fight until I get there on fight night. Like, it just depends how I feel on the day and at the time I get there. So I just feel like I've got more ways to try and win. I can do more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to prove that on Friday.
As I said, majority of people thought you won the fight, but I think the criticism for you mainly was that perhaps you switched off in the fight. Was that a fair assessment, Denzel?
Yeah, that's fair. I switched off in the fight, but I think I was just focusing on the wrong things. Like, obviously, I'm doing the rounds, I do it in the gym and I enjoy it, but the pressure's different in the gym. You know what I'm trying to say? There is no pressure, and like, you're just doing your thing. But on the night, it's like counting down the rounds and that, like, round 7, you've got 3 more rounds to go, and cool, do this and do that, and they want to stop you late, don't let them catch you this round, and all of these things. That I'm thinking about the wrong things in the fight. Do you know what I mean? I shouldn't be counting down the rounds. I'm going to do them anyway, so I should just be getting on with it. And those are things that made me switch off, because I wasn't focusing on the fight no more. I was just focusing on what round we're at and what am I going to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just all the wrong things, but this time will be different.
That's just a matter of experience, though, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's just a matter of experience. Like, I've never done it before in any other fight, but this fight where I was going the distance against, someone credible, I just kind of, my mind flipped into the wrong things. But like you said, I've got that experience now, so hopefully it don't happen again.
Of course, Mark kept coming forward all night. Aside from that, and his relentlessness, if you like. What was the thing that impressed you most about Mark from that first fight? One quality. Nothing.
His will to keep going.
What about his punching power?
It was decent. It wasn't out of this world. Like that shot he caught me with a knife. It buzzed me, innit? It didn't hurt. Like, oh man, in the 10th round I came back and brought the fight to him. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it wasn't like, oh that was that was a mad shot. Let me stay away. I just felt like I allowed him to come on to me. You know what I'm trying to say? I made it easy for him to just keep walking forward and all these things. But you learn from these things. So.
Do you just feel like you have too much in your arsenal for Mark, and that's why you'll be victorious Friday night?
Yeah, I personally do. I think I have too much in my arsenal for him. But at the end of the day, in a fight, anything can happen, innit? But I just believe that if I turn up my best and he turns up his best, my best is better than his best. That's what I feel. And I feel like I've got too much in my arsenal to compare to what he has, and that's what's going to get me the victory.
There can be complications when making rematches. We've seen it throughout boxing. Was this fairly easy? I know after the fight you and Mark said straight away, yeah, let's get this on. Was it fairly easy to make this fight?
Yeah, it was easy. We both wanted it. So we both said yes. Look, before we even knew the British title was on the line, we were going to be on the line. We both said we wanted it. Like, I wanted it because I thought I won, and obviously I wanted to make that right. And I'm sure he did for the same reasons, or maybe he felt like, a bit embarrassed because of all the talk before, talking about Andrew Robinson's level, he's going to knock me out, I'm this and that, step too early. And I gave him probably one of his toughest fights apart from his loss. So he probably wanted to get it back on that kind of sense, like, nah, I got to make this right. So at the end of the day, whatever reason we both wanted it for, we both wanted it, and it got made easily. We both said yes. He said yes, I said yes. Get it on. What's the date? Boom, bam, cool, we're done. Got announced. A couple of days later, British title on the line, even better. So it was easy, man.
Well, roll on Friday night. Denzel Bentley takes on Mark Heffron in the rematch. Tune into BT Sport. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go ahead of Friday night?
Just tune in, man. It's going to be a good fight.
Top man, Denzel Bentley.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.